Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We're learning Mishna Yispeitza, Parak Daled, chapter 4, Mishnah Beis, Mishnah 2. Okay. Ein noitlin eitzim min hasukah, ela min hasamachla. You cannot remove wood from a hut. Sukkah here does not mean necessarily a sukkah. It means a hut. You may not remove a piece of wood from the hut. I mean, you have this hut made out of wood, and now you're pulling off some wood from it. You're not allowed to do that. You know why? Because that's considered like destroying it. By removing a piece of some of the wood, that area is considered, somewhat destroyed. It used to be a fuller sukkah. Now you remove some of the wood. There's less amount of material there. That is considered a form of demolishing, of soser. And therefore you may not do it. Element asamachla, unless the piece of wood is next to it, meaning, a hut could be made out of reeds or wood that was kind of, interlocked, interwoven together. So then when you go and you remove a piece of wood, that's removing it from the structure itself. But they also had pieces of wood that were lying next to it, maybe with support, whatever it was. But they had these pieces of wood that were leaning on it. Those woods, if you remove it, if you take it away, is not safe, it's not demolishing the building because it's not a part of the building itself, and therefore that would be permissible to remove without any kind of issue of seiser of demolishing. Next halacha.
Would they be muktzah with a piece of wood?
No, because any kind of piece of it, depending on what we're talking about, but if the piece of wood, let's say you intended to use the piece of wood, then it's not muktzah. The problem is it seiser? If I had intention to use a piece of wood from the wall, right? It may not be muktzah, but it's still seiser, still demolishing. Next. One can bring wood from the field if it's been gathered together. That means that if there's wood in a field, do we say that a person intends to use it on Yontif or not? So, according to Rabbi Yehuda, that holds of that says there is muktzah unless without intending to use something, those things become muktzah. So wood in a field is considered, not intending to use it. Unless you gather it together. If you gather it together before Yontif, that means you are planning on using it. And therefore, the Mishnah says, you can bring wood from the field if it's already been gathered from before Yontif. A karpif is an enclosed area. Even if there, the wood is scattered. Now, the way they explain the karpif is like this. We may bring wood from an enclosure, even if it is scattered and not gathered. The enclosure discussed here is a safe place. We'll see what safe means, but a safe place where one would keep things that he tends to use on Yontif. Therefore, even if the wood in the enclosure is scattered, it's not muktzah. If this wood is in this enclosed area, that means you're planning on using it. So even if you didn't gather it together, it's scattered all around the enclosed area, it doesn't make a difference because the fact that it's in the enclosed area and it is safe, we'll see soon what that means, and it's safe, then we say, that's you're intending on using it on Yontif, therefore it's not muktzah. Now, Eizehu karpif. What kind of an enclosure are we talking about exactly? And the answer to that is Kol shesamach le'ir, as long as it is close to the city. Now, actually, it's not just about being close. If you want it to be safe, then what do you need to make the enclosed area safe? A lock and a key to get in. So, the way the Bartanur explains that when Rabbi Yehuda says that you need this karpif to be close by, it's a given that it has to have a lock and key, or else it's not safe. And if you leave it unsafe, then that really means that you don't have intention to use it. Besides being unsafe, besides being protected, because the lock and key, it also has to be nearby. And what does nearby mean? Nearby means 70 2/3 amas from the town. Well, yeah, I mean that 70 2/3 amas.
About 100 feet.
70 2/3 amas, right? What's an amma? Let's say an amma at the most, right? Is 2 feet.
Right.
Let's call it 2 feet to be whatever, right? 70 of them is 140 feet. That's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. Okay, but it has to be that much within the town, right? Not within where you live, within the town. Not specifically to where you live, but it's within the town. So it has to be. So again, according to Rabbi Yehuda, you need both, that it should be protected and it should be nearby to say that we assume that that a person has intention to use it on Yontif. Rabbi Yosi says, if you can get him with a key, meaning as long as you have a lock and key, then already you can use that wood even if it's within the Tchum Shabbos. That's 2,000 amas away. That's 4,000 feet away. That's over a mile, right? It's almost it's over a mile and a half, right? So in that situation, according to Rabbi Yosi, if it's protected, okay, even if it's as far as the Tchum Shabbos, because one of the Tchum Shabbos can't go anyway, right? But the point would be that even if it's as far as the Tchum Shabbos goes, as long as it's protected, we say that a person's intention is to use it. A person has das intention to use it for Yontif, therefore it's not muktzah. The Bartanura points out that according to Rabbi Yosi, okay, Rabbi Yosi says if it has a lock and key, it doesn't have to be that close. And what if it's that close, within the 72/3 cubits of the city, we don't have a lock and key? Does that help? And the answer is yes. It's either or, according to Rabbi Yosi. According to Rabbi Yosi, it's either or. It's either having a lock and key or being close. The first opinion of Rabbi Yehuda says it's got to be both. Rabbi Yosi says that it's either or. Either it's protected with a lock and key, or it's close by. When you have any one of those two, we say your intention is to use it over Yontif, and therefore it's not muktzah. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Basically, going to use this